Welcome, Cancer. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your new moon in Scorpio reading. The new moon was yesterday, and I read your cards yesterday, but I had some technical difficulties. I also have a plugged up ear. I got my vaccinations a few days ago and some residual fallout, so I can't hear myself very well. So I'm not sure if I'm shouting or I'm not speaking loudly enough. So my apologies in advance for that. However, I am so happy to be here. I thank you for spending time with me. I've laid out the Crow Tarot. I'll clarify with the Tarot of the Divine. I'll finish up with a couple of Oracle cards. And I will ask you to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. But because I won't remember to ask you midway through a reading, it's just impossible for me to do that. I will remind you at the end if you make it that far, but at any point into this reading that you feel like it's something that you're enjoying, I appreciate all the support that you all give to me to do something I love. So thank you for that. Your overall energy, Cancer, for the new moon is the Ace of Wands. New moons are times when we can begin things, refresh things. We can look at something from a different point of view. And here you are re-inspired in a certain direction. That can be in even reviewing your past as an example. But this is really resonating in particular around your creativity, around your expression, the way that you're finding pleasure with your peers. This can be a romantic renewal for those of you that are in a relationship or a beginning of something significant, something playful, something fun. But it is in concert with the energy of the new moon in Scorpio, as well as the opposition of this new moon with Neptune. Neptune elevates us into a dreamy, romantic state. It makes us idealistic. It makes us be comfortable not finding grounding. And in many ways, this is a beautiful creative aspect for not only romance or pleasure with friends, children, grandchildren, but it's also really about finding your creative spark and renewing interest in activities that allow you to express yourself and create beauty in your world. In the position of the moon, we have the Four of Cups. Because it's in the position of the moon, and the moon is in Scorpio, this is really giving me a cause to consider Pluto's transit, final degree of Capricorn. This is lasting well into next year. It certainly will move into Aquarius in the beginning of January, but it will go back briefly for like a few weeks in the fall of next year. So as a result of Pluto's energy that allows us to sink inward, to look at our most deeply embedded behaviors, to recognize patterns, to find those gems, those resources within ourselves, our own strength, the things that exist when everything else is removed from our outer lives. You are finding yourself to be well practiced in aligning yourself with things that feel good. However, you are ultimately a bit dissatisfied, a bit restless when you look at the essential stability that you've been able to create for yourself. This is you feeling that this emotional stability, the evenness of your life is a little dry, it's a little boring, it's a little disinteresting. You are perhaps wishing for something to spark up what you feel generally is a solid foundation. But you are looking for that magical element that will inspire you, perhaps to be creative, to perhaps find a way to refresh your relationship or find a more lively, playful, exuberant spark in your experience. In the position for the sun, we have the Five of Swords. And this is really about you battling some really old demons. And these old demons are essentially those aspects of your experience where you have self-doubt, have insecurities around your capacity to do things, your willingness or desire to fit in with others, your receipt of negative criticism or unkind words, or the way in which you may have felt that you allowed others to stop you from things that were really a product of your own values or your own ideas. The worthiness of them has been challenged, and you may be looking at this afresh, in part because you have achieved a certain amount of emotional balance and hence protection, a way that you seek things that feel good as a course of habit. And you may have shunted away this experience of all those peers, relationships, co-workers that have doubted your value or your worthiness in some sense. This is kind of coming around as an opportunity for you to apply, recognize this is an area that you have changed, that you are changing, that you aren't indifferent to what others think, but instead that you are valuing more your own thoughts and your own ideas. And this is what you are finding in some ways a kind of motivation to seek that element X, that X factor, that thing that will spark you, that will give you a fresh direction, a fresh view, that will kick you out of your doldrums. In the present, we have the Six of Cups, and this is, in fact, a beautiful passage into happy, positive memories and nostalgia. This can be simply renewing and enjoying friendships that have been around for a long time. This can be you picking up those things that you used to do for pleasure. Clearly, you have many skills. You enjoy crafting, working with your hands. By crafting, I just don't mean knitting and making things, scrapbooking. I mean any opportunity you work with your hands, whatever your particular gifts are. Some of you may be sculptors. It's not confined to the domestic arts by any means. Paper making, ways that you can extend your joy in being who you are and being with others, exercising your gifts without an agenda, kind of moving past this place where the comments, the negative feedback from others has not only stopped you, but it has hurt you profoundly. And this is kind of a balm in which you are equaling that out by remembering a time when you could do those things. And this is fueling the sense that you are outweighing this experience of negative input by enjoying your memories, enjoying those relationships that come from those experiences, that you are welcoming the opportunities that revolve from this part of yourself, this part of your life that is not abandoned, that you are in fact activating in many ways. In the past, we have the Sun card. And this is really bringing this together because really I'm seeing you looking at ways in which you are pursuing and identifying your happiness. This is something you've long done. You have not sought your happiness in the opinions of others, even if those opinions have hurt you, have undermined you. You are recognizing that your joy is in being who you are and exercising those natural gifts. That is what elevates your peers, your team, your joyful associations with friends, with family, are elevated by your happiness, your willingness to bring the sacred tone to pleasure and sharing, being of service to others. So there's a lot of messages embedded in here for you that are about really experiencing this joy, bringing the sun. Of course, the Six of Cups has sunflowers equally mirrored on this card. So that's really a symbol of you. The inner child sounds so worn out, but there is an element of renewing your innocence, your playfulness, your joy. In the future, we have the Three of Swords. And this is, there's a kind of story here with the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 6. This is your using, you're leveraging your ability to be happiness, to be happy, to be authentic, to find your authentic sweet spot, being who you are. The joy of that has come through a really profound understanding of the failures that you've had, the inability to communicate or be recognized or seen or heard by people that may have mattered to you in one way or another. Co-workers, family members, significant others. You are understanding how you have overcome those challenges to your sense of happiness, your sense of joy. After all, the heart is the symbol, another symbol of the sun. And really understanding, accepting, and healing that is really what this reading is talking primarily about. You are continuing on. You are leveraging your authenticity against this disappointment, this heartache, this feeling of not being appreciated by others, found to be wanting in some area or another. And this is your deep understanding of how those experiences reflected the fears of others as well as your own fears of not being accepted, not being good enough, not being smart enough, whatever it is that you felt reflected some serious inadequacy on your part. You're really continuing to heal that. And that brings you to a place of gratitude, a place of recognizing that what's done and dusted is not as relevant as your deeper appreciation of what you have. All the lessons you've had are a part of who you are. They've all helped you in some way to appreciate what you have, your health, your gifts, your friends, your family, your work. I'm going to clarify the Six of Cups in your present with the Hermit card and the Eight of Wands. Interesting. So there's a couple of things going back and forth here. The Hermit is really about your ability, how you've earned the right to be who you are. You stand comfortable in your aloneness, not your loneliness, but your aloneness. And that aloneness is really cultivating this authenticity over and against those who were naysayers, those who doubted you, those who maybe laughed at you or found you to not be enough of the things necessary to be happy or successful. In fact, you found happiness and success without the things that others said you had to have. There's also some feeling here of a lot of information, a lot of movement, a lot of communication. Perhaps this is around former friends, former opportunities that you had that are coming around to you again. Maybe this is you contemplating travel or going to a place that you would not have considered in the past, but that you now see is a critical or spiritual connection to your past in a way that would be illuminating, that might allow you to find a different kind of success in a different location. So I do see you communicating a lot. Maybe there's an opportunity here to connect with friends in the physical, friends that you have long lost connection with, things that you no longer do that are a source of that enjoyment. I hope this has been helpful, Cancer. Please like this video, share this with someone who might find it useful, comment below, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate all of you who support me. And I pull the pyrite, and it says, let the money flow in. Well, I like that. I'm also going to pull a language of the flowers. And something just hopped out. It is the jonquil, and the key word is power. Take hold of what you know is yours. I am so appreciative of your time, Cancer. Until next time, namaste.